Hello and welcome to today's live RFU webcast. My name's Ed Talton and you join me here at Allianz Park, the home of Saracens, where very shortly the two teams of Millfield School and the Grammar School at Leeds will go head to head on this very pitch to decide who is the winner of the first ever Champions Trophy. 32 teams began this event and now just two remain, with one game separating them from the making of history. Now to take you through all the action this afternoon is your commentator, Mr. Johnny Bryan.
Thank you, Ed. Good afternoon, one and all. Welcome to a foggy Allianz Park. It's a little bit dreich down in these parts of North London at the moment. About 7-8 degrees. We're wrapped up in layers here, but no doubt it'll be hot and feisty on the pitch for this first ever Champions Trophy final. Dave Rogers in the box alongside me. Dave, a very good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Johnny. Absolute cracker in store here, and the players are out on the pitch doing their final warm-ups, and I cannot wait for this one to get underway.
Yes, it's been a fascinating competition, this Champions Trophy. The first time the RFU have installed it for a lot of schools to play high competitive competition rugby in the autumn season. You've watched the majority of games that we've televised in this competition. Best two teams in the final for you?
Well, I've been lucky enough to see both of these teams live. I was alongside you when Grammar School at Leeds defeated Barnard Castle at home to make their way to the final, and I was also down at Millfield School to watch their fantastic comeback where they beat Tunbridge 16-14. There've been a lot of comparatives in their route through to the final. They both had to come from behind in the early stages and got a little bit more comfortable as the competition has gone on. I mean, earlier on this week, John Mackenzie from Grammar School at Leeds said, on paper, this is the final you'd like to see from the schools in the latter stages, and from the talent that I've seen on the pitch, he's probably right.
Well, we can talk about talent in abundance, really, on both of these teams. Let's just quickly single out one or two players from both the Grammar School at Leeds and Millfield School. I was there with you a fortnight ago up in Yorkshire, and the Yorkshire faithful are in the crowd. The Leeds, they're watching in the school hall at the minute up in the Grammar School at Leeds. I hope you guys are giving us a cheer up there right now, and no doubt they'll be watching down in Somerset in Millfield as well. Grammar School at Leeds, Tom Gorman is a big talisman for them. The Rugby World Young Player of the Month for October, and no doubt he'll be the Luis Suarez, as it were. You know, he's going to be the big talent on the field.
Well, he scored 2 tries in that semi-final. He hits fantastic lines, he carries the ball, he also tackles like an absolute runaway train, but there's a lot of talent around him as well. Harrison Brown-Raw times his passes fantastically well, but for Grammar School at Leeds, for me, it's all about the tight five. In the semi-final, I gave Harry Francis man of the match for his graft, and if Grammar School at Leeds' pack can create a good structure for the backs today, then they could have a lot of success.
Yes, there's been plenty of Yorkshire under-18s players in the Grammar School at Leeds squad, Irish Exiles players, Tom Gorman's in England under-16s as well. And then you look on the other side of the pitch for Millfield, Adam Hastings, number 10, Scotland under-20s World Cup player. You know, again, another strong talisman.
Well, Millfield were up against it against Tunbridge back in that second round, and it was when Adam Hastings switched from 12 to 10 and Darren Atkins went from 10 to 15 that they really started to make hay and ultimately won the match. Yeah, Adam Hastings, fantastic player, great distribution, kicks well and reads the game well. Darren Atkins, we'll talk a little bit more about him later. He, just like Tom Gorman for Grammar School at Leeds, scored 2 tries in the semi-final that ultimately got his team here, but the back row for Millfield, Ransom, Bayliss and Bailey Ransom, they absolutely take it to the opposition. They tackle, they carry the ball, and they will be looking to provide the platform for Millfield to go forward.
Well, we chatted to both coaches a few minutes ago. Ed was down there. He chatted to John Mackenzie and Mike Baxter of Millfield, and here's what he had to say.
John, welcome to Allianz Park. An exciting day for both you and your players.
Absolutely, yeah. It's unusual for the journey to finish at this time of the year. With the Daily Mail 3 years ago, obviously it was finishing in March, April, but it's been a wonderful experience for us.
You face Millfield today, a side well known for being a fantastic rugby school. Tell us, what do you know about them?
No bits and pieces. Obviously we don't play on the same rugby circuit, but with the websites that are out there, you're able to see how the schools are doing and who they're competing with. We know they've got some good individual players, and they've got a great reputation. Winning St Joe's Festival, they're going to be a good side, so we'll see what we can do today.
You certainly seem to have brought a lot of people with you today. Tell me, what's the atmosphere been like around the school leading up to this one?
Yeah, it's been great. Big thanks to our crowd over my left shoulder. Yeah, no, thankfully it wasn't leaving in the snow that we had 3 years ago, so they set off early. There's been a great buzz around the school, a real hype. A lot of people wanted to be here, and it's great we've got our Year 6 rugby players upwards, so hopefully we can inspire some of them today.
And what can we expect from your side?
Well, can't give too much away. It's at the point of the year, we're playing some good rugby. Mistakes are going to happen. It's going to be a case of which team probably capitalise on the mistakes the best. They know we've got some good players, likewise we know they have. So the surface is good for us. We had a tough semi against Barnard Castle in the mud, so hopefully a dry surface, a fast surface will play into the hands of both teams.
Well, you've got plenty of support with you today, and I'm sure you'll give us a great performance. John, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mike, welcome today on this very special occasion. Tell us, what preparations have you been able to put in on the Millfield side?
We haven't had many sessions, so we just made sure that we do exactly what we've been doing for the last 4 or 5 weeks, making sure that our line-out is strong, our field play is strong, and just not changing much at all, really.
Obviously the Allianz Park pitch is one that is very fast, very quick. Is that going to suit your side, do you think?
I think it does. We've got some great runners in the back line and actually in our back row, so the width of the pitch and the surface will definitely suit our game.
Obviously your side has already won a trophy so far this term. Do you think that experience will stand them in good stead going into this one?
I think so. I think they're used to playing the big games. Week in, week out, we play some strong fixtures. So I think these guys are ready for it.
Now, obviously, you play on different circuits to the Leeds school. Have you been able to gauge anything about them whatsoever?
We've looked at a few videos, and we know they've got a strong 10, 13, and their pack is powerful. So we've made sure we've trained, making sure we know what to do when that comes down the channels, but not too much.
Now, obviously, this is the first ever Champions Trophy, and a lot of coaches have been very, very praising of the idea. What approach has it enabled you to take? Because you've got a lot of younger players in your squad, haven't you?
Yes, with the fact that we can only play 3 players that have come into the school in the last 2 years, we've had to look at lower 6th, under 16s, and these guys have stepped up brilliantly. We've got a couple of guys starting in the pack and at the back line at 16, and they've stepped up really well.
Mike, thank you so much for your thoughts. Wish you the best of luck today.
Cheers guys.
So the thoughts of both coaches, no doubt, giving their final orders in the dressing room right now to both of the teams. The Yorkshire faithful are in the crowd, they're loud and they're ready and ready to go. As a Millfield school, their fans have just arrived here in the last few moments, just getting warmed up, getting ready to go, and no doubt you guys at home watching this will be too. These are the 215s that line up for this Champions Trophy final, and Leeds are unchanged from their semi-final. Abahita Oswald, number 1, Sam Ward, 2, Dominic Hardman at 3, Harry Francis and Simon Phillips at the second row, Jonathan Webster, Harry Moore and Will Shepherd at the back row, Harry Bolser, the scrum half, Harrison Brown-Raw with that exceptional right foot of his at 10, Chris Bridge on the wing 11, Will Newitt, Tom Gorman at the centres, Max Kay on the right wing 14, Jonathan Haslam the fullback, and John McKenzie is their coach. Millfield School from down in Somerset, this is their final lineup. Nick Eaves to 1, Anton Lester, a Saracens and England under 18 at 2, Henry Peck, England 16s and Saints played at 3, James Dunn 4, Rory Mitchell 5, Josh Bayliss and England under 16s played at 6, Harry Ransom 7, Bailey Ransom the captain at 8, Joshua Barton 9, Adam Hastings, we mentioned him earlier and keeping an eye on him, he is the fly half at 10, Hadley Tuck on the left wing 11, Henry Carling Parkinson, Will Carling's son at number 12, Kieran Griffiths 13, Harry Close on the right wing 14, and Darren Atkins, England at number 18 at 15 there, coached by Mr. Mike Baxter. The replacements for both teams: Gerard Ellis, Robert Dunn, Alex Rooney, Will Barker, Jake Mitchell, Tom Eggs and Luke Powderly will wear number 23 should he come on the field. Alex TX, Alistair Crossley, Ben Dixon, Oliver Buck, Kian Kennedy, Cameron Brown and Oliver Dorr Lane are the replacements for Millfield, and if they come on we'll have to try and help you out with them because they haven't got any numbers on their backs, David.
That's always a very pleasant, if you like, surprise when you arrive and you see that the substitutes haven't got numbers on. In fact, the second round match down at Millfield, Tunbridge School didn't have any numbers on any of the players, which was all part of their brand new rugby philosophy for this season, which is wonderful for the players but not quite so wonderful for the commentators.
For the commentators, indeed. Absolutely. Well, both teams getting downstairs currently. They're just about to come out onto the field. About 1 or 2 minutes away as the trophy is out in the centre of the pitch as well, on the halfway line, and you can see the fans in the crowd, young and old, ready to cheer on both of their schools. Let's chat about a couple of other of these players. Millfield fullback number 15, Darren Atkins. You've seen him. I've yet to see this young man's talent, and you say he is very talented.
Well, he certainly is, and on a pitch like this today there is nowhere to hide. It's a huge pitch, it's flat obviously, with it being an artificial surface, so hopefully we're going to have a day today where players like Darren Atkins and Tom Gorman can really shine. There is absolutely nowhere to hide. It's going to be exhausting for these guys too. As I said, it is such a big playing surface, and what with all of the final and all of the paraphernalia that comes with that too, I hope we're going to see lots of tries and lots of open rugby. So let's talk about the Millfield backs then. Adam Hastings, we mentioned him before, fantastic distribution, and his kicking is going to come into play, as will his opposite number Harrison Brownraw. Kicking in open play on a big pitch like this is going to play a huge part, and we've got two fantastically talented outside halves, and whoever can keep their head and their composure could really put their team on the front foot.
We were downstairs chatting to the Millfield coaching staff just before we came on air, and you went down to Millfield. I've yet to go to see that school, but one thing that I remember you saying to me when we were up at Leeds about them, and how impressed they're not just their academic prowess but their sporting prowess. I'm looking at some of the alumni here: Gareth Edwards, JPR Williams, England captain Chris Robshaw, Helen Glover, the gold medal. But this is a school that injects sport into each of their pupils.
Oh, absolutely, and they've got a fantastic pedigree in the facilities there. They've got an Olympic size 50-metre pool, as well as the blue hockey pitch from the London 2012 games, and a representative in every Olympics since the 50s. So Millfield, yes, traditionally a fantastic school, should I say, with great success. They've won a major championship on the rugby field this season already, of course, the St Joseph's Championship, but don't let that fool you. Grammar School at Leeds, a fantastic sporting pedigree in their own right. Many of these players were involved down at Twickenham a couple of years ago, and they became the NatWest Trophy under-15 champions.
Yeah, I was there commentating on that game. I remember Harrison Brownraw kicking well that day, and that was 2 years ago. So, it's good to see that they're continuing to grow a lot of these players, especially the Grammar School at Leeds, when they won that title a couple of years back. And a lot of those players from that day will be on this field this afternoon.
Absolutely, two teams with a great deal of pedigree, as you mentioned, lots of academy players. The Grammar School at Leeds actually slipped to their first defeat of the year earlier this month. However, there were 6 of the regular pack missing from that team, so I wouldn't look too deep into that. I can see the players lining up in the tunnel there. Real looks of concentration, Johnny.
Indeed. You can see Bailey Ransom there for Millfield School, just psyching up his team as they walk out, and hear the roar from the Grammar School Leeds and Millfield here in the crowd, making the sound of a cast of thousands.
Absolutely, and just as the players come out, just look at the condition on them. You can see how hard they work on their fitness. They're running out here at Allianz Park. It's a fantastic surface, a great occasion, and these guys take their rugby seriously. I was talking to a few guys pitch side earlier, and we were just saying how different it is since our day in school rugby. These boys play and train like professionals.
Well, indeed, I won't mention who of which side, but one of them said about nutrition. And somebody walks around their canteen. If anyone's got chips in for them, they're taken off, and it's 2K on the road the next morning.
I'd be doing a lot of 2Ks on the road, John.
Me and you both indeed. Both players out in the middle. Everybody's standing in the stands at the moment, and they're still streaming in as well. A few coaches are only arriving momentarily, but no doubt both teams ready and psyched up for this one. David, a prediction before we get underway.
I am not going to predict anything, but something I'd like to have a chat about are the comparisons between the two teams. Both had to come from behind in the second round. Millfield against Tunbridge, Grammar School at Leeds against Bedford, and have both looked a little bit more comfortable as the competition has gone on. They haven't played each other, they haven't played any of the same teams, but the comparisons are there for all to see, and I can't wait to get underway.
Well, here we go on the stroke of 2:30 here in London, in North London in Alliance Park. We're underway. Adam Hastings gets us underway, caught by Harry Francis for the Grammar School at Leeds, just inside his own 22. Box kick forward onto the halfway line. Hadley Turner of Millfield was underneath it. Pass it round to Darren Adkins. Adkins goes to his right, running rugby from the start here from Millfield. Barton. Adam Hastings over halfway. And a penalty given for tackling it rolling away, and exactly just that Millfield are looking for.
Well, a good start from both teams. It was a great catch from Harry Francis, the semi-final man of the match from the kick-off, and Grammar School at Leeds did the right thing. Good box kick. We can now hear their fans clapping over on the far side. In fact, that was a characteristic of the first time I saw them, the great fans from Millfield, but that's the first time we've seen Darren Atkins take a little step. They have looked to run early on. That's what they did against Tunbridge. That actually got them in trouble, but winning the penalty, they've got a great position now from a good clearance kick, and they're inside the opposition's 22 for the first time.
Attacking territory indeed, and the first test for the Millfield hooker, Aston Lester. And they can't find the ball. In fact, it was hidden underneath a packet of railings just on the far side. Somebody's going to have to try and fish it out, so the referee's call for a new ball. And in fact, somebody's fished out the ball from underneath those railings. So we go again. Lester. Good take. Bailey Ransom, the Millfield captain. Getting to drive forward. With about 10 metres out, and they're continuing to go. And now here comes the Leeds defence. Now they come left. A few couple of numbers on the left hand side as well. This could be a good start here for Millfield. Here they come on the left hand side over the corner. It's an opening try for Millfield. Number 11, Hadley Turner. 2 minutes into the game. Millfield open their accounts.
What a start from Millfield. It was great ball off the top of the line out, and they showed good discipline in the forwards to get the drive going. A lot of the chat before the game was that Grammar School at Leeds might be a little bit stronger up front, but Millfield got on the front foot from the drive when Grammar School at Leeds held it up and it went down. We just see the replay starting at the breakdown. There's so much width on this pitch. It was good rugby. Colin Parkinson there off to Atkins, who dummies the pass before putting the Grammar School at Leeds number 14, Max Kay. He just had to sort of stutter his drift defence there, made the space for Hadley Tucker on the left hand side to finish in the corner. Dream start for Millfield.
Indeed it is, dream start for Millfield. You've got to find another ball here with the looks of things. And in fact, looks like Adam Hastings is going to get it. Well, we've got a shortage of balls here at the Lions Park today, and surely we only got one. Well, Adam Hastings has just run a good 40-50 metres to get this ball. Hopefully he's not too tired for this kick. Still have plenty of time though.
I wonder when the last time Adam Hastings had to fetch his own ball for a conversion was.
Well, our cameraman's just going to get out the way. But you're going to see a fantastic view here of Adam Hastings and this difficult conversion. This for 7-0. You can hear the pin drop, but he's going to miss on the left-hand side, so it's only 5 points conceded for Leeds. Millfield lead 5-0.
It's the exact opposite of what happened with Grammar School at Leeds in their semi-final against Barnard Castle when they exploded out of the blocks, and Tom Gorman with that fantastic finish from inside his own half.
So how did the Grammar School at Leeds respond? At knock-on advantage being played here for Millfield as they go inside their own 22. Little dink forward into midfield.
Yeah, good decision from the referee there. There was a dink into midfield. There was a lot of space there, but there was no way through. The kicker taken out off the ball. That's 2 penalties in the first 4 minutes for Grammar School at Leeds. Discipline is going to be really, really important in this final.
There's much of a mirror image from the semi-final as well. You know, roughly the same happened when the Grammar School at Leeds and Barnard Castle. But a decent effort, and Millfield back in the Leeds half again on the 10-metre line with another chance for an attacking line-out. Big pitch here at Alliance Park. It's a 3G pitch to remind you as well. We've had a lot of wet weather here down in these parts as well overnight. It's a little bit foggy as well, and the offer of running again at Millfield. Darren Atkins inside the 22, good tackle. Millfield started on the front foot in this final, but a penalty given away for crossing, unforced error.
Cracking work there from Adam Hastings, though. Just showed the dummy and didn't break the tackle, but got his hands free. It was Darren Atkins who was on the shoulder, the supporting line. One thing I was going to talk about before the match, but we didn't have time, was the fact that Darren Atkins breaks the line, and very often it's wingers that don't take the chance who miss opportunities. If I was a winger, I would certainly be hanging on every time Darren Atkins was on the ball, because like Chris Ashton does so often on this ground, if you are in the right place at the right time with those support lines, there are tries to be scored. Just got a little bit of a miscommunication in midfield there for the crossing, and a chance for Grammar School at Leeds to relieve the pressure and get a bit of time on the ball themselves.
Sam Ward, the Leeds captain, first line out of him for the day. A little bit loose, but still collected by Harrison Brown-Raw. Bolsa. Good tackle there from Harry Ransom. Also the scrum half collects, sends it back. Big boot forward. That's a good kick as well. Puts Harry Close under pressure. And now Millfield looking to go for a little counter-attack of their own. Good tackle again, Harrison Brown-Raw. He's everywhere, the lad. Driving forward from James Dunn. Big tackle.
Absolute monster hit there. That was a real characteristic of their semi-final performance as well. The ball's back with Millfield, but Grammar School at Leeds really looking to impose themselves physically, and they've won the ball back too.
Indeed, I think Simon Phillips with the tackle there, and I think they heard that one up in Leeds. Alison Brown-Raw with the penalty, and now a chance for Leeds to get some attacking territory.
Yeah, he's found a good touch there too. When Grammar School at Leeds had the ball inside their own half, they weren't able to get the ball away as quickly as they'd like to, and that slow ball meant that their attacks were static, and Millfield could push the defensive line up, and Grammar School at Leeds were forced to kick clear. But that big tackle has given them a bit of initiative now. They've won the penalty, and they've got themselves a great field position. This line out is really important.
Captain Sam Ward. First one was a little bit loose and free. How's the second line out instead? Collected well by Will Shepherd, and now here comes the Grammar School lead is over! That's how you respond! And it's set piece rugby so far, David.
Absolutely. Another training ground move. They did score one as well in the semi-final. When the line out clicks for Grammar School at Leeds, it's really efficient. Great ball to the back. Millfield sort of stood off, really. There were lots of gaps in the line. The ball was taken. We'll have a little look at the replay here. It was a good clean take by the number 8. Popped down. The hooker has come round on the loop. No one got anywhere near him. Millfield were not expecting that. Great work from Grammar School at Leeds. They strike straight back. 5-all. One visit into the 22 for each team. One try, and we're locked at 5-all after 9 minutes. Game on.
Sam Ward playing the captain's innings. 5 apiece. Well, we were predicting open running rugby, and so far it hasn't let us down too much. Harrison Brown-Raw. This now for Leeds to take the lead. into the heart. Leeds lead 7-5.
Huge credit has to go to Grammar School at Leeds there, because they were up against it for the first 5 minutes. They conceded the early try and they were on the back foot throughout. I mean, Millfield already, Adam Hastings and Darren Atkins doing well carrying the ball, but they do that line out structured stuff really, really well. Millfield will be disappointed with the way that they defended that, because the captain Sam Ward practically strode through without anyone laying a hand on him. So what a game so far, really evenly poised, just as we expected, and plenty of space opening up on this big pitch.
Hastings with the restart. A little jump in the air but missed by Harry Francis. And a chance here for Millfield to turn the ball over, which they have done with Josh Barton. Barton to Hastings. Tackle there from Sam Ward. Will he play a captain's innings in this opening 10 minutes? Hastings gets on one player and another. Takes two to get him down. The ball was knocked forward, and it will be Leeds with the put-in.
Yeah, it was a good hit there from Harry Moore. Just what you want your open side flanker to be doing. Put in the 10 under pressure.
So first opportunity to see both of these packs.
Well, last time we saw Grammar School at Leeds, it was an absolute mudbath, wasn't it? Really difficult for either of the teams.
No excuses today on this pitch.
Absolutely.
Hardy Balsa with the put-in at the scrum. Good scrum there from Millfield. But we'll reset and go again.
Yeah, it'll be a Grammar School at Leeds put-in, but that'll be, despite the infringement, Millfield will take the initiative from that. When they did get the shove on, a lot of the chat before the match was that the Grammar School at Leeds would possibly have a stronger pack than their opposition, but it's relatively evenly matched in the opening 11 minutes.
Put in again. Referee was happy with that scrum. Balsa, Brown-Raw kicks it up the field. It's a good kick from Harrison Brown-Raw again, and puts Hadley Turner under a little bit of pressure, but the ball went backwards. Kick forward is not too bad either, but chance here for John Haslam to launch a counter-attack. A little bit of kicking tennis at the moment. Adam Hastings has to go from the deep. Instead, he's going to go himself with his left boot. Picked up by Harrison Brown-Raw. Little chip forward. Ball goes out. And a little bit interesting, a little change of tack there.
What Grammar School at Leeds have done really well there with those three kicks is the first one, they've made the left winger for Millfield turn. The second one, they spotted that the Millfield fullback was out of position, and as a result, Millfield can't just receive the ball and kick it clear. They've always got to look to beat a man or look to do something out of the ordinary just to relieve the pressure. So that's clever kicking from Grammar School at Leeds during that attacking period of play, as Millfield's outside half Adam Hastings receives a little bit of treatment, but that's going to be a really important thing today. We said before kick-off, kicking in open play is going to play a huge part in this match, and Grammar School at Leeds showing that they're just thinking about it a little bit instead of just putting boot to ball.
13 minutes down, we've got a bit of a blood injury for Adam Hastings. He's got a little bit of claret coming from the nose. Hopefully he'll be okay, but it's been a fast and frantic 13 minutes. Hadley Tucker getting Millfield over the line after 2 minutes, and then Grammar School Leeds responding 8 minutes in. Sam Ward and the extras added by Harrison Brown-Raw. What you expected?
I expected there to be tries today for a number of reasons. Firstly, because these guys won't have played in conditions like this for the last few weeks, especially on a dry pitch. I mean, it looks misty and miserable, but it's actually surprisingly warm outside, believe it or not. I mean, we're not in too many layers considering how November usually is in this country. The running rugby has been good, the handling's been good, it's been physical, we've seen hits. This is a great final in the making.
Millfield replacement coming on, and Millfield will have a knock-on advantage. Hardy Francis with the knock-on. We do have a replacement coming on, and we believe it's Cian Kennedy with the orange boots. Number 21 as Adam Hastings still receiving treatment down the side. And a big kick from Millfield sends them up to the Leeds 22.
Well, the last time they were in this sort of territory, they sucked in all of the grammar school at Leeds forwards and then put pace on it quickly, and that's what got them their opening try.
Leicester with the line out. Good take. And now, as you rightly mentioned, Dave, here comes the drive forward. Bailey Ransom has it. Goes to ground. Josh Barton. Drop goal. But they come back for a penalty. Missed the drop goal there from Darren Adkins, but they got the penalty anyway.
Yeah, good attempt there from Darren Atkins. He knew that the penalty was coming, so he thought may as well have a pop at goal. The Millfield supporters over on the far side thought that it was good and they had the points, but interesting that they've gone for the corner here. They're obviously confident that they can get that drive going and cause their opposition some problems again.
Yeah, this one is really nip and tuck at the moment. Strap yourselves in, everybody. This one could be a roller coaster this afternoon. 15 minutes into this game. Leicester again with the line out, 5 metres out. Attacking line out. Ball is loose, but still in Millfield hands. And now looking to the drive again, but they go to ground. Barton trying to fish it out, and does so. Adkins, another thumping tackle. Will Newitz this time. Barton. Mitchell. Continuing to come forward. Barton again goes up the blind side. Josh Bayliss. 5 metres out. Adkins. Carlin Parkinson. Leicester wants to have a little dart himself. Josh Barton goes to his right. Harry Ransom. But it's a penalty right in front of the sticks here. Take your 3 points, Dave.
It's certainly what I'd do, but obviously they've shown that they're not scared to go for the corner in these positions. But Darren Atkins, he's got the ball in his hand. Surely, if you take points every time you're in the opposition's 22, then come the end of the match, then you're not going to be in a bad position. We're just going to have a replay here. The number 10 for Millfield, Adam Hastings, still off the pitch. So Darren Adkins has stepped up into the outside half role, which of course he's got great hands and he has got vision, but will they miss him outside when there's all that space to run into?
So Darren Adkins, this to give Millfield the lead by a solitary point. Well, would you believe it? It was a gimme, and it's been missed. It's hit the post and back out into play.
Real let-off for Grammar School at Leeds there, to be honest. They were under the cosh, and to escape that period of play without conceding will do their confidence the world of good. But here come Millfield again.
Indeed, Josh Barton has been lost, and now a chance for Leeds to have a counter-attack here with Simon Phillips. Bolser. Will Shepherd being held up. And it will be a Millfield put-in, and the referee not happy here with number 4 Harry Francis. Sam Ward coming over the captain. It may be a little bit of frustration that has come out. That might be what this telling off is for.
Well, we've seen Harry Francis before. He loves to be involved in absolutely everything. Second row's perfect for him because wherever there's trouble, you'll usually find the second rows. But he's made a couple of tiny little mistakes. He's dropped the ball a few times, and it's a real battle in the forward pack. So if a bit of frustration does boil over, then the referee's doing the right thing, just stamping it out before it goes any further.
Josh Barton with the put-in on the Leeds 10 metre line. Darren Adkins missing a glorious opportunity to give Millfield the lead. Bit of a gimme and much of a let-off for Leeds, who still have the lead by 2 points halfway through this first half. Barton collects from his own scrum. And now a little darting run by number 13, Kieran Griffiths. Barton goes to his right. Number 6, Josh Bayliss. Tackled there by Harry Bolser. Barton decides to go himself. Picked up by Anton Lester. Millfield slowly but surely gaining ground. Bayliss. Ball has gone backwards. The referee says hold up. 5 metre scrum.
I tell you what, it was a lovely offload out of the back door though. He'd made yards. He could see that he wasn't going to get to the line. Grammar School at Leeds will be a little bit disappointed that he could just burrow his way through there, but he knew there was a man behind him. We're going to see the replay now as Millfield come forward. First tackle's beaten, second tackle's beaten, and he's just driving those legs before offloading out of the back door to Rory Mitchell, who couldn't quite get there, but again, great position for Millfield here.
Well, they slipped away 3 points a few moments ago, but they're back in Leeds territory and maybe looking to pick up a maximum here. 5 metre scrum, dangerous scrum. In a dangerous area of the pitch. Leeds defence got to concentrate here. Barton puts her in, collects. Little inside pass, very nicely played. Darren Atkins now. Good tackle there from Harry Moore. Loose, and that ball's gone backwards, says the referee, but not this time. As Kieran Kennedy is tackled, and Leeds will now have a chance to clear their line.
Much better scrum from Grammar School at Leeds there. Millfield have had the push in the scrums that we've had previously, but Grammar School at Leeds really dug in there and put pressure on their opposition. As a result, the ball didn't come out cleanly. The Leeds defensive line was absolutely fantastic. They put pressure on Carling Parkinson, who is the receiver, and this time they've got the put in and the chance to clear their lines.
Enthralling stuff, it really has been enthralling.
Just having a look at the replay there, it was a difficult one for Carling Parkinson to take. Just shovelled onto him really by Harry Ransom. Not a great deal he could do.
But now a chance for Leeds to clear. Bolser with the put in at the scrum. Collects his own. Brown Raw with the kick, and a decent one it is, but it may remain in field, and does so. Collected by Kieran Kennedy, we believe. And another little darting run here by Hadley Tucker, and he's away and running, and has gained a lot of ground. Here come the cavalry. Barton. Gaps being opened up here, but Leeds have it back. Jonathan Webster. Kicked away by Jonathan Haslam, and will that one find touch? Certainly will.
Yeah, brilliant kick there from Jonathan Haslam, but Leeds, they're under the cosh a little bit at the moment. They're dealing with it because Millfield are making the initial breaks as great news for them. The number 10, Adam Hastings, makes his way back onto the pitch after his 10 minutes off in the blood bin. But Millfield, they're breaking the line, they're doing all the hard work, but they're not showing a lot of finesse or composure, which is exactly what Grammar School at Leeds are doing in defence at the moment. Really evenly poised as Millfield look to come again.
Line out on the 10 metre line. Anton Lester's been pretty good at them so far, and this one wasn't too bad either. Barton inside. Henry Carling Parkinson. Joshua Barton goes to his right, picked up by Josh Bayliss. Josh Barton again, and another thumping tackle, this time from Dominic Hardman. Ball goes backwards, says the referee. Still in Millfield hands. Tell you what, Dave, it's been some great tackles in this game. We've had more hits than Elvis.
Grammar School at Leeds with some absolute monster hits. It's not just the fact that they're winning the collisions, it's the fact that the Millfield players are just stopping dead. Really, really physical stuff from the team leading by 2, but Millfield still on the ball, still looking dangerous in good territory.
And they may have won it back here. But the referee says no. And then over the top. Penalty, Millfield. What do you do this time?
Well, diving in off the feet, they're doing well from the line-outs. They're taking them well, and they're setting up the structure to try and attack the try line. Following the missed penalty, that, as you said, was an absolute gimme. I can see them plugging the corners. Interesting, they went to the blind side there. It was good defensive work again from Grammar School at Leeds, but we can see there Will Shepherd, the number 8, just off his feet.
Well, Millfield really living by their motto at the minute. Will he end up to succeed by grinding, and that's what they're trying to do to get over this line here. Here they come again, driving forward. They get the try next time.
Yeah, fantastic momentum from the line out. It's over on the same side that they scored the first one from. They've looked to set the drive every time. This time the wheels were turning from the moment the forwards hit the ground, and that is fantastically disciplined play from Millfield. Oh, another replay of that huge hit, front rower on front rower.
Indeed, Bailey Ransom is the man who's got over, we believe, amongst all them players here, there and everywhere.
We can see there that Millfield, they've got plenty of numbers there, and Grammar School at Leeds, they were on the back foot. They couldn't really get any structure around to defend the drive. They've dealt with it reasonably well up until now because they've seen it coming, they've read it, and they've committed forwards to that drive. But this time, Millfield too organised and lead 10-7.
This to make it 12-7. Adam Hastings back on kicking duty. This to extend the lead to 5 points. Superb effort.
Yeah, on the wrong side for a right footer. Great respect from the crowd as well. You could absolutely hear a pin drop when he was approaching that kick, where they're all sat in the main stand as well. They all had a great view of that. They knew from the moment it left his boot that it was on the way over. Great kick from Hastings, and Millfield lead 12-7.
12-7, they do lead. Collected on the kick-off, and Leeds come in looking to attack again from their own kick-off, but they lose it, and here's Adam Hastings gaining the ground. They don't want to try and chase this game at the moment. They've got plenty of time in hand, but there could be a way here. Darren Atkins, the England under-18, and now here come Millfield. Open rugby this time inside the Leeds 22, and Leeds back on the back foot. Plenty of men over on the left-hand side as well. Anton Lester, Barton to his right. Carlin Parkinson, Adkins tries to brush one player off and another. Picked up by Harry Close. Up to the 5 metre line. Been relentless pressure from Millfield the last 15 minutes. Hastings. Leicester playing scrum half. Goes himself. And gains a few feet. But Leeds have it, and now the chance to clear. Will Shepherd. Jonathan Haslam with his left boot relieves the pressure.
Oh, fantastic defensive work again from Grammar School at Leeds. It's almost like they don't click in until they've got to defend their line for their lives, but great play from Millfield. Having Hastings back on at 10 just gives them a little bit of an air of almost calmness. He adds a certain serenity to proceedings, and what that means is Darren Atkins can do what he does best, and that's run at broken play. It's not just the fact that he beats defenders as well. He's very aware of the offloads. He makes a few yards. As soon as he runs into trouble, he wants someone there to receive the pass, and Millfield can just absolutely plough forward just so long as he's doing that well. Credit to Millfield for their attacking, but credit to Grammar School at Leeds, who are hanging on a little bit at the moment, but they're doing a great job of it.
Loose line out from Anton Lester, but it's still collected by Henry Peck of Millfield. Barton. Hastings. Henry Peck. Ball's gone backwards, says the referee, but picked up now by Abhijit Oswald of Leeds, and a chance for Leeds to relieve a bit more pressure. Bolsa, John Haslam, and that kick is a lot better and relieves a lot more pressure, but it will be a Millfield line out again.
Yeah, another good kick. I'd just like to take a little minute there while the turnover's being shown there to have a little chat about Oswald, the grammar school at Leeds number 1. He's playing in the front row, but he's defending like a back rower at the moment. He's at every breakdown, he's making big tackles, he's turning over ball, and he's really, really putting in the hard graft for his team at the moment.
Anton Lester. Not the best line out from him this time. And now a chance for Grammar School at Leeds to launch a counter-attack. Inside to Max Kay.
First time there we've seen Tom Gorman have the chance to stretch his legs. The big number 13 not really had the opportunities in the opening half an hour of this match.
He's had a bit of a quiet game so far, but you know what they say about the quiet ones. They're ready to shine. Bolsa, surveying his options, decides to go left. Brownraw, inside. A little bit scrappy at the moment, but still in Bolsa's hands. Harrison Brownraw with a good offload, but the referee has got his arm out for a knock-on, and it will be a Millfield put-in.
Yeah, Carling Parkinson came flying out of the line for Millfield to put the hit in on Brownraw, who did well to get the offload away. Once again, Grammar School at Leeds not quite able to get the quick ball that they want, which means Millfield can rush up their defensive line and put their opposition under pressure. Something that Brownraw did really well in the semi-final was take the ball to the defensive line so that his centres could really punch holes and put doubt into the opposition defence's mind. He's not quite able to do that at the moment, which means Millfield can read the play that Grammar School at Leeds are coming at them with from the back line, but this is slightly better field position for the boys in grey.
Josh Barton with the put-in. And now here can Millfield. Well, somebody in the crowd thought I was a little bit forward, but still in Millfield hands. And they're running at this Leeds back line. Into the 22 they come. Darren Atkins looking to collect. And they win the penalty as well.
Once again, Millfield find themselves in the Grammar School at Leeds 22. As you mentioned, there was a suggestion of a forward pass to the number 12, Henry Carling Parkinson. It was a great line that he'd run. He's another player who reads the game very well, as Millfield just knock it to the corner and look to launch another one of these attacks in great position. But just when it looks as though things are going well, yeah, we've seen a replay there, certainly did look forward. The referee in a good position to see that too, but just as it looks like the Grammar School at Leeds are getting a foothold in this game, Millfield are able to turn the screw, break the defensive line again, and they're right back deep inside their opposition's 22.
And Millfield collect as well, but being sent backwards at the moment, and it will be a Leeds put-in. Good defence.
Once again, top defence for Grammar School at Leeds. This time they read the play. They knew that Millfield have gone for a drive every time they've had a line out inside the 22. They committed numbers. Millfield couldn't get a roll on, and they've got the input at the scrum. Sorry, the put-in at the scrum, should I say.
2.5 minutes to go in this first half. Just to remind you as well, our clock is only an approximation. We go on the referee's whistle. 35 minutes and a half here in this Champions Trophy final. Bolsa with the put-in and collects. Brownraw collects. They're going to go quickly. They are indeed. Hadley Tucker sends it in early. Darren Atkins collects and sends it out wide to Harry Close, who does a little dart in run himself. Good tackle here from Leeds. And a penalty surely for them holding on. Took a little bit too long to release.
Tom Gorman there looked like he'd been gassed on the outside, but he's recovered so well to make that tackle. I can understand why Millfield went quickly. They wanted to get Darren Atkins' hands on the ball, put some width on it, as the cries of Yorkshire, Yorkshire from that crowd go up once again, but Grammar School at Leeds really defending out of their skins at the moment, just a try down approaching half time, and now a little bit of territory. They'll really be hoping to get a score before half time.
Indeed they will be. Nothing will do right now. The balls begin to fly left, right and centre. Sam Ward, the captain. Collected by Will Shepherd. Shepherd to Moore. The referee not happy. And he's suggesting that was maybe a forward pass.
Yeah, certainly looked forward to me. He's putting his inside centre Newitt under a lot of pressure there. He's fizzing a ball. You know, you can see that coming. You can see Newitt putting the brakes on as he's gone into the tackle there, because it's a hospital pass really. He's asking a man to run into two fellas who are set ready to smash him.
Barton with the put in at the scrum. And collects. This is a chance for another Millfield counter attack from the deep. It may well be. Caden Griffiths. And it's the Millfield pupils who are singing in the crowd at the moment. Ross Mitchell. Wardy Mitchell, do beg your pardon. Barton. Little chip ball from Adam Hastings. Well, it's been left forward, and I thought there might be a knock on in part of this, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. It's going to be a try. A try indeed.
Well, we were talking
and in fact, yeah, try's been given.
We were talking about Grammar School at Leeds perhaps getting a score before half time, but that's absolute heartbreak for them. They've defended their hearts out for the vast majority of this half, and Millfield for the vast majority of the half as well have been unable to break them down. They've got a little chip over the top there. They've had the luck of the bounce. I look forward to seeing the replay to see whether that was a knock on or if it came off a Millfield knee.
Well, that was my instinct. That's why I hesitated. I thought this was a knock on, but we shall see. Well, we can't really tell from that angle.
Difficult to tell from that angle, but it was hacked on there by Harry Close. Adam Hastings put a good boot to it.
And Hastings it was who collected and scored. Here we go. Is that a knock on for you?
For me, yes, that's a knock on. I mean, we don't have the benefit of a million different angles, but for me, that's come off his hands and off his knee. But the referee is a lot closer than we are. He makes the final decision. That was the final play of the half, and a real kick in the guts for Grammar School at Leeds there. 19-7. All of a sudden, this is a very favourable scoreline for Millfield.
Indeed, the Yorkshire crowd trying to get behind their team. They're 12 points down at half time. Grammar School at Leeds trail Millfield School by 19 points to 7. Let's chat about this first half. David, let's talk a look at the replays first of all. Both teams coming out. You can see the intensity on both of these sides, and it was Millfield School who opened the scoring. Hadley Tucker was the scorer. This was just after 2 minutes of play.
Well, it was the first time we'd seen an attack, really, the first try, as so often happens in these big occasions. It all came from the line out, but it was good back play from Millfield. They drew the defenders, which is what you teach kids in primary school when they first pick up a rugby ball. It was a good finish over in the corner. Millfield taking full advantage of the width of the pitch, just what they wanted really, just the start that they wanted, and it sort of set the tone for the half. Millfield have played a lot of the rugby in the Grammar School at Leeds 22. I mean, Grammar School at Leeds have spent the vast majority of the time defending a lot better than that. It got a little bit physical as well. I think we're going to have a look at a big hit in the middle of the park. We talked about the Grammar School at Leeds back, and that's an absolute monster from the second row and the back row. Really physical, just like a cup final. Then we see the Grammar School at Leeds. They came straight back into it. A set move from the line out. The captain, Sam Ward, went in without a hand being laid on him, really. It was a good...
Yeah, but it was a stealth try from the Leeds captain.
Well, it was a shortened numbers line out, and whenever that happens, there's always a certain amount of uncertainty in the defensive line, and to be honest, Millfield just didn't know what to expect. That was the penalty under the sticks. It was more pressure from Millfield and an absolute gimme that was missed by Darren Atkins.
Oh yes, it's surprising for a player of his quality to miss. A little bit of a slice off his boot, I think it was.
I'm sure regardless of the result in this final, he's going to take a lot of stick for that one, is Darren Atkins. But around the park, he's been fantastic. His footwork's been great. And he actually picked his tee up to make the tackle there. He was he'd walked away. He was so confident that he'd scored it. There was more pressure from Millfield. They just came pouring forward the whole time. Grammar School at Leeds, they tackled their hearts out.
They defended well for a good portion of this first half, didn't they? You know, defensively they were very strong.
Oh, certainly, yeah. I mean, this is a 15 that have started today that have pretty much played the entire seasons together, so they know their strengths, they know their weaknesses. It's just unfortunate for them that so much of their good work, as we see another huge tackle there from the number 3, Dominic Hardman. He really does tackle strongly. This was the try for Millfield. They just came piling forward. Great work again from the line out. It'll be disappointing for Grammar School at Leeds that they've conceded 2 from the set pieces deep inside their own 22, but Millfield this time they did manage to get the roll on, and it was that try that put them in the lead.
Now this was the little controversy at the end of the half. You feel that's a knock on from number 14, Harry Close there?
The referee's in a really good position. If it's come straight off the knee and he's put a foot through it, then the referee's done the right thing to play on. My initial thought was, yes, it's a knock on. I mean, you can see some Grammar School Leeds players look into the referee.
Yeah, have a good look at this. What do you feel?
It's come off his knee, but I just think it's come off his right hand. There'll be people watching this in Leeds. I mean, we've been told that they're all watching it in the school hall back up at the Grammar School in Leeds. They'll all be screaming for a knock on. Millfield will say it's come off his knee. If it has come off his knee, then the referee has made a fantastic decision. Great awareness from Adam Hastings, who's had a fantastic half, albeit unspectacularly. He's done the basics very well. You know, he's dropped the shoulder and beaten the man, got the offload away. He's added a lot of composure to the Millfield backline. He's also got the try there at 12-7. It's really, really evenly poised. I mean, both of these teams have had fantastic comebacks in this competition already, but Millfield getting that try just before the break, that'll do them the world of good.
Yeah, and if anybody's interested at home, it's split the crew in the truck as well, because half of them think it was a try, half of them think it was a knock on, and it's split me and you up here, because I'm not certain 100%, because it looked like it came off his right hand there, but alas, it's the score that counts. So here we go, 19-7, 12 points down, 35 minutes to play. What do Leeds need to do?
Well, score the first try of this half, I think. That sounds fairly obvious, but 24-7, it really would be some comeback from there, as the light has noticeably got darker. We've got the floodlights on now and the shadows beneath the players, and we're back underway.
Back underway we are indeed. The lights are on here at the Alliance Park. It's a little bit foggy here as well around it. It's a little bit typical winter's day, really, isn't it? It's a little bit cold out there. Everybody's wrapped up warm. There's still red hot action here on the field in this Champions Trophy final.
Yeah, good early clearance kick there from Adam Hastings under pressure, but a chance for Grammar School at Leeds to do something that they've not really done in the match so far, and that's go through the phases when they've got the ball inside their opposition's half.
Excellent line from Sam Ward. Like an arrow that was. Paddy Francis at the back. Let's see if he can continue that good form that he shown 2 weeks ago against Barnard Castle. Goes for a little dart himself. Tackled by Joshua Barton. Bolser. Brownraw. Will Shepherd. Out wide on the bounce. Went backwards, says the referee. Still in Leeds' hands. Harry Bolser. Harry Moore. Bolster, long pass to the right. Addison Brownraw picks it up again from Will Newitt. Simon Phillips. Sam Ward, the captain. Running the phases here, Leeds. Patient Rugby. They've still got plenty of time. Little kick forward. And a good tackle there from Leeds. Trying to put Millfield under pressure. Hastings with the kick forward. Collected well by number 15, Jonathan Haslam. Will he be dumped in touch though? He is.
Yeah, it was a great take from Haslam there, running forward, flat out. It's often difficult and we often see those bouncing off chest. It was good phase play from Grammar School at Leeds. As we said, that's exactly what they needed to do. They kind of ran out of ideas though, and eventually the chip over the top, looking for Tom Gorman, was taken by Darren Atkins. Shows the confidence of Millfield that Adam Hastings chipped over the top there to try and retain the ball. But it's ended well for Millfield as they've got the throw in at the line out, but it's broken to Leeds.
Joshua Barton has it. He picked up the pieces. Simon Phillips. Bolser. Good tackle on Hardy Francis. Hardy Bolser collects. Will Newitt being held up. And it's been stolen by Millfield. The referee is not happy. And it will be a Leeds penalty.
Just a little point early on in this second half. The Grammar School at Leeds, they're not necessarily getting the distribution that they'd like from Harry Bolser. Some passes are going high, some passes are going low, and it's not allowing Brown Raw or whoever's in at first receiver to really get the momentum they want, whether they want to go forward, whether they want to go wide. So that's something that Bolser is going to have to improve on. He's working really hard, and sometimes it's been quite scrappy at the breakdown, and he's had to work hard just to get the ball out of the melee of bodies. But his distribution needs to be a little bit cleaner if his team are going to get the go forward they need.
12 points down, but a chance with an attacking lineup, and we're trying to find another ball by the looks of things. No, we're not. We have a little bit of an injury on the side there. One of the players is indeed, it's number 4, Hardy Francis, who's just seen a little bit of quick treatment on the sidelines. And he's back in the line-out. Sam Ward, important line-out this for Leeds. A chance to really get on the front foot at the start of this second half. Oh yeah, surely a penalty.
Yeah, challenged by Millfield, and the player was taken out in the air. Another short numbers line out from Grammar School at Leeds. You wonder if they were about to unleash another of their set moves. Yeah, we just see a replay of that tampered with in the air, which is far too dangerous, and we'll reset the line out.
Another line out. Sam Ward, captain. Hasn't been too bad with his distribution and his delivery. He's lost this time, but still picked up by Leeds. A little bit of football being played on the rugby field.
Turned over.
And yes, Millfield look like they're going to turn this over and chance them to clear. Or have they? Or have it been turned back into Leeds' hands? Who wants it? It's Leeds' hands it is. Harry Francis. It's out wide. Addison Brownraw. Ball is out and it's been knocked forward. And Millfield will have a chance to relieve the pressure with a scrum inside their own 22.
Yeah, we've got Carling Parkinson down just under the sticks for Millfield as well. I didn't see what happened there.
But good intent from Leeds at the start of the second.
Yeah, well, these are the things that they weren't able to do in the first half. They weren't able to execute any of the things that they're strong at in attack because they just didn't have the field position. What we've seen in the second half is their ability to go through the phases. What I'd like to see them do now is just show a little bit more patience instead of resorting to the kick that's more a hit and hope really. Just to go through the phases and see what they can achieve. We're just seeing a replay of the action there. It was good movement from Leeds, but it was all a little bit in too close. It was all a little bit congested. I mean, the pass was to the hooker Sam Ward, the Irish Exiles man, who was present in the team that beat the Welsh Exiles recently. The pass was a little bit behind him. There were two defenders on him, and it bounced forward. So Millfield have the opportunity to clear their lines.
Substitution been made. Replacing Gerard Ellis, coming on for Dominic Hardman. Millfield now looking to clear. Relieve the pressure that Leeds are put on at the start of this half. Hastings, little dink forward, little chip forward. Beautiful stuff. And now Millfield are away inside the Leeds half, and he's going himself, is Harry Close. Up to the 22, superb play. Good vision there from Hastings. Barton. Hastings, Mitchell, Atkins, Hastings, Leicester, 10 metres out of the Leeds try line, looking to try and put this game to bed early in this second half. Easter, Barton. Goes to his left, Hastings, little inside pass, and it comes to Henry Peck, and he's over!
Lovely inside line there from Henry Peck, but that all started way down the other end. Lovely vision from Adam Hastings. We've seen him try it once this half already, but they knew they had men outside. Little chip over the top. Harry Close, great clean catch, and look at all the open space he had to run into there. From then, Grammar School at Leeds were on the back foot. Here we see the kick. Great vision. They saw that there was only one man on the left hand side for Grammar School at Leeds. Harry Close stepped inside him and he was away. They couldn't quite get over there, but the inside line was hit by the big man, number 3, Henry Peck. Inside ball from Adam Hastings. There's no stopping a front rower from there, and that is another absolute hammer blow for Grammar School at Leeds.
They got a mountain to climb. Hastings, just to add the extras. Missed this time from Adam Hastings.
I only got the first bit, so I was down the other end.
Well, Hastings is having a fantastic game, isn't he? He's really pulling the strings. Like I said, it's not always flashy and glamorous, but just a little chip over the top that releases the winger, or when they're expecting the ball to be whipped to the left hand side, it's just an inside pass to an unfancied ball carrier in the front rower, and it's those little decisions that make good 10s great 10s, and this scoreline very much in Millfield's favour now.
A couple of replacements been made by Grammar School at Leeds. Gerard Ellis is on the field, also Tom Megson also making an appearance on the field as well. And a penalty being given away by Leeds, so Millfield with an advantage here. It's beginning to become one-way traffic. Hastings. Back to come for that earlier penalty from our referee Luke Pearce. 17 points clear. Millfield looking to put to the sword maybe now. Now Dave trying to put the game to bed.
It's always difficult in a final, isn't it? Because you never know what is going to happen. But Millfield have had a lot of experience at this level recently. You know, winning that St Joe's tournament. They played 20 games this season, which is 8 more than Grammar School at Leeds. And this is a comfortable lead. What they can do now is just play territory. They've got Adam Hastings, who's kicked fantastically well. All he's got to do now is just keep the ball where it is at the moment, inside the Grammar School at Leeds half.
And there comes the heave-ho. At the back there, Bailey Ransom, the captain, Maybe looking to try and go over himself. And he may do. Just may do. He has them. Has he? Oh, yes, he has.
Well, as you said, all one-way traffic, and maybe that put into the sword prediction from you was pretty accurate, because that was clinical from Millfield. What will please them the most is they've scored different kinds of tries. They've run the ball, you know, that's the natural talent of players, but the fact that they can do this stuff well too is the reason why they're such a fantastic team. You've got Bailey Ransom there, he scored a try like this already. He's at the back of that group of players coming forward. There was no way of stopping him, and he just dots it down.
Yeah, the ball maybe just touching the whitewash, but it was enough for the referee to give the try. And now Hastings looking to add the extras. Into the heart.
He's the only player I seem to be talking about at the moment is Adam Hastings, but he really does make a difference to this Millfield team. In the time he was off with his blood bin treatment, things just didn't quite seem to happen for them quite so much. There was a lot of industry, but not a lot of finesse. He is just the catalyst for absolutely everything that the team does well.
We need something special here now from Grammar School at Leeds. Put it past them though, they are a good team. Good lines from them here as well. Out wide to Max Kay. Be interesting, Dave. You know, if Grammar School Leeds score here, and then we maybe try and pick up it again, try and just eat into this lead gradually. You never know. There could be a bit of nerves from Millfield towards the end. It's not, game's not over, not yet.
No, well they've made the change at scrum half. Tom Megson's come on, and straight away in the 2 or 3 times he's touched the ball, the distribution has been a little bit cleaner. They're back in good field position here.
Brownraw, it's in towards the corner.
As I've said, that Millfield have absolutely rushed the defensive line, and Brown Raw's done well to deal with that. Little dab to the corner, nothing else he could do. Of course, it was from a similar field position where Millfield scored a try last time with that little dink over the top from Hastings, where Harry Close burst his way up the field.
"20 minutes or so left to go in this Champions Trophy final. Anton Lester with the line out. Good line out as well. It is from Millfield. They have possession. Bolser. I do beg your pardon. Barton. Leeds picked it up. Megson. Underneath the post. Going for a little drive himself. Couple of metres out. Important this for Leeds. If they want trying to get something from this game, you feel they've got to get over the line here.
Really important that they keep their discipline here. It's great work in defence from Will Newitt, putting Colin Parkinson under pressure, and they're going forward now. Just important that they keep their heads.
Maxon is in there. Brownraw goes himself. Try it!
No, forward pass.
Oh no, forward pass.
It was the right.
Thought he was there.
It was the right idea. The outside half. He's got outside. He's freed his hands. We'll just see a replay of this now. Again, that's a tough call. It was a great line from Gorman. First time we've really seen him cut that line, but he does so well. Harrison Brownraw with the offload. It all happened so quickly. The referee went with his instincts.
Just going to reset scrum. Just going to see here. Is it a forward pass for you? Brownraw did well. Keep your eye out on the right hand side of your pitch here. For Gorman. Forward.
Yes. The replay is also on the big screen over there as well, so we hear the wee from the crowd as they realised that it was a forward pass. Nothing either of them could do about that really. Gorman had to hit the line that fast, and Brownraw couldn't quite free his arms in time, but promising signs from Grammar School at Leeds.
Collected well by Jonathan Haslam. Max Kay gains the yards and still going. He's still going into the 22 now. This is good stuff from Leeds. Mexon, Moore, Mexon again, Simon Phillips, Mexon goes to his right, Brownraw spots the gap, now he gives it to Tom Gorman. They get it right that time, do the pair. Is he there? He is there! Andy Francis.
Great try from Grammar School at Leeds, but Millfield's defence has been absolutely all over the place for the last minute or so. We've got people falling off tackles. Grammar School at Leeds started off, it was Max Kay, the winger, made huge yards and didn't really have to work that hard for it. Then in the midfield there was another one just before the try went over. Millfield have absolutely rushed the defence. No one's paid any attention to Harrison Brownraw, who didn't even have to throw a dummy, he could just stroll through, and then finally it was that man Harry Francis just picks the ball up and manages to find his way over from 5 metres. Great initiative from Grammar School at Leeds, just what they needed if they're going to have any chance in this final. But Millfield's defence absolutely terrible for that try.
The arrears have been reduced to 17 points, 17 minutes remaining. Leeds 14, Millfield 31.
Well, Leeds will absolutely grow in confidence following that, and the next few minutes are really key. How do Millfield respond? That's the question.
I said 5 minutes ago, if they can score 2 tries in the space of 10 minutes, all of a sudden the pressure will swing to Millfield. They'll see how they can hold on. Can they hold on?
Well, they've not.
Next score important.
They've not had to play any rugby on the back foot so far, and that is the first time the Grammar School at Leeds have got a roll on and got any momentum going, and it paid dividends, but Millfield have turned it over again here.
Hastings. Goes to the drop goal. No. Wide.
Didn't hit that one cleanly at all.
Millfield, School who are sinking under the way again. Tom Gorman, he's going for the line himself. Picked up though by Darren Atkins. Leeds growing in confidence, Millfield all over the place. Little bit of football between Sam Ward and Jonathan Haslam. Leeds still have it.
Great break there from Gorman on the left hand side. He was running out of room, just tried to nudge it towards the try line. Didn't quite get a clean kick on it, but that's the first time we've really seen him do the business. He needs a big last 15 minutes here.
And they get the penalty, Leeds, as well. First time we've seen Gorman in this match really begin to show some magic.
Absolutely, and magic it was too. That's a great kick as well. What Leeds need to do is start to turn the screw. Now they've got the momentum, they need to pick up the pace. It was lovely quick thinking from the 22 dropout. Good take from Gorman, and he's really pumping. Great pace. He's got outside the Millfield winger, but just couldn't quite get the kick on it, and it was that man Darren Atkins who read it well and could slightly relieve the pressure, but it all led to a penalty. That's what we want to see in a final, the top players making contributions.
Sam Ward with the line out, taken cleanly, and then away again. Ward, I think he went into touch there. Yes, he did.
Yeah, another set move from Grammar School at Leeds, trying to get the hooker, the try scorer, up the line.
You've got a player down on the field right now, a Millfield player, and it could be a couple of minutes here. Millfield player, I'm not entirely sure who it is from our view on the gantry here, but he's going to receive some treatment.
Yeah, we've got Grammar School at Leeds though, coming straight back into this match. Sam Ward there, he's already got one try from the line-out. They were trying to release him again. Couldn't quite tiptoe up the line and he was pushed out, but more promising signs from the Grammar School at Leeds. This break in play, you know, albeit for an injury, and we hope that the player in question is in good condition and back on his feet in no time. But this will do Millfield the world of good, because despite the fact they've got a healthy lead of over 2 scores, they're very much on the back foot at the moment. Grammar School at Leeds.
They have been. They're on the back foot for much of the last 15 minutes of this half.
Thinking about it, they scored 3 tries in such quick succession when the game was relatively evenly poised at 12-7. We thought Grammar School at Leeds might nick something just before half time. Then Millfield, counter-attacking try, they've done it.
Here's a replay of the
Tom Gorman break.
Yeah, the Gorman break, and look at him go here. There's maybe a little bit of opportunity. He could have gone. He just saw maybe Adam Hastings in his view, and maybe thought, I'll just little chip forward to somebody here to try and tie onto it. But it's great vision from Gorman.
Where Grammar School at Leeds have done better in the second half is when they have taken it to Millfield. We said in the first half the fact that when they did have the ball in attack, they weren't really challenging the Millfield defence. It was all very telegraphed. It was all very sort of one-way traffic, really. No one was able to break the Millfield defensive line because they weren't giving that disciplined Millfield defence anything to really think about. This half, they've given Millfield more to think about. They've run lines. They've seen that Millfield are blitzing the defence, so they've thrown some dummies and they've gone. And it's almost as though they think we've got absolutely nothing to lose, that they've come back into it. But the next score is vital.
Yes, the Yorkshire crowd. That's the Leeds fans who were doing the Poznan. In the stands. Trying to keep themselves warm. The temperature here in London has dropped dramatically in the last hour and a half. Millfield with the line-outs. It's a loose and scrappy one again, and it's in Leeds' hands. Megson decides to go for himself and gains a couple of metres. Hardy Francis. Sam Ward, the captain. Megson. Oswald. Numbers on the right hand side, there's plenty of men over as well. Francis goes a little dart himself. Stopped in his tracks by Anton Lester. Megson. Quick rugby this from Leeds. Brown Raw. Newitt. Back out to Tom Gorman.
Leeds had numbers there, they just needed someone to straighten it up.
Megson. Newitt. Oswald. Phillips. Megson. Hardy Francis. It's over the game line, but goes backwards a couple of feet. From the strength of the Millfield defence. Ward. Gorman. And a man on his left hand side didn't use him. And a good tackle was made, but still in Leeds' hands. Megson. Phillips. Gerard Ellis, active scrum half and spots a gap. 5 metres out. Megson. They're going wide. Harrison Brown roll. On a carousel there, but he keeps it in possession. But now Millfield have it, but a penalty has been given right in front of the sticks.
Yeah, better phase play there from Grammar School at Leeds, playing rugby where they want to, but a couple of the times they've whipped it right, they're just desperate for somebody to straighten up, just to fix the Millfield defence. You know, Millfield are drifting well, and they're making the tackles at the moment because no one from Grammar School at Leeds is giving them anything to think about with a good running angle.
Sam Ward, Leeds captain. Picked up by Harry Francis. Good drive, but it's good defence from Millfield. Excellent defence, in fact. Oswald going round the back, and now here comes the Leeds drive. Somebody's going to try and fish that one out. Megson trying to find it and gets it. Megson, Brownraw.
Pass it.
Tries to go himself. Megson. Penalty advantage being played as well for Leeds. Oswald, 5 metres out back, they come for a penalty, and they've got to be careful here, Millfield. And in fact, somebody could be getting a telling off here. They give away a couple of penalties during this phase of play.
Yeah, Tom Megson's distribution has made a huge difference to Grammar School at Leeds since he's come on. We've got 3 Millfield substitutes just warming up over on this near side. But what I was going to say, Johnny, just watching that one in there, it didn't look like it was
right over the flag that went then, didn't it?
Absolutely. What I was going to say is Harrison Brownraw is taking a lot of ball on at the moment, and he's getting tackled, which of course you do, but what that means is that when it comes to the second phase, he's not able to step in at first receiver to pull the strings, which is what he does so well when there are Millfield defenders committed to the breakdown. I'd like to see him taking a bit less ball into contact so that he can try and make things happen a lot later in the phases.
Well taken by Will Shepherd. Ball has gone backwards as the referee. Into a knock-on. Not this time. Picked up by John Webster. Megson, couple of metres out. What can they do this time? Brownraw. Gorman does it on one play and another. Up towards the try line. Paddy Francis. Good Millfield defence this. They're stopping Leeds in their tracks, but they've got many men on the left hand side if they go quickly. Driving forward. They can see the line. Megson still has it. They go back a few feet. Francis is going to pick it up, and at scrum half gives it to Harry Moore. Gorman for the corner. Gorman for the corner. Gets the corner. Gets the try. Game on.
Great finish from Gorman and great play from Grammar School at Leeds. It's almost like the polar opposite of what was happening in the first half as Gorman goes running back to the supporters to get them to make some noise and spur his team on. Just look at him now trying to get everyone cheered up. He believes that something special can happen in these remaining 9 minutes or so here. They went through the phases, which is exactly what we said they needed to do. Then when the opportunity came, Tom Gorman took full advantage. Look at him there as he just pins his ears back. His acceleration is absolutely fantastic. Finishes in that corner.
Not wasting any time as well, Leeds. Straight onto the kick here, Harrison Brownraw. It's a difficult one. And he's missed on the left hand side. Just as we're on replay there, Harrison Brownraw, difficult kick from near the touchline. He's missed on the left hand side, so that makes it a little more academic now. They need 2 tries. Instead of a try and a penalty, it's 2 tries needed.
2 scores and plenty of time. The scoreboard on Millfield's side, but the momentum all with Grammar School at Leeds at the moment.
8 minutes to go. Hastings with the restart. Leeds with the momentum. They're sniffing something here.
Good catch by Harry Francis to set up Leeds as well.
Shepherd, Megson. They're off and running again. They could be off and running again here. Dumped it to touch on the halfway line. It's been a different Leeds this last 20 minutes.
Absolutely, they've certainly got the bit between their teeth and they're looking to run it from deep. Tom Gorman in particular, I think he's realised that this is a huge chance here. This is a final. You know, there's no point leaving anything out on the field. He's certainly been more and more involved. We're just going to have a replay of the kick there that was just missed on the left hand side. Good strike, but he just pulled it. Now Millfield have got the throw in at a line out here, and they're going to Oh, but it's been
stolen by Leeds. It's all going their way at the moment. And now they're driving forward.
What I was going to say was Millfield are going to have their hands on the ball for the first time in a long time. But Grammar School at Leeds have stolen the initiative. Here comes Harry Francis.
Indeed it was. Harry Francis was the man gaining over the gain line. And they've got men over on the right hand side here. Plenty of men over. Man on the right hand side, if he uses it quickly, Gorman, he doesn't, but it's still in Leeds possession. Into the 22. No doubt they'll be on their feet in the school hall up at the Grammar School at Leeds right now, cheering this team on. It's been a valiant effort this second half, it really has. Phillips. Maxson. Little kick forward himself, it's a little bit out and knocked forward by Leeds, and it'll be a chance for Millfield with the advantage here to clear their lines. Hastings, which he does so. Still in field, advantage over. Haslam tries to dance around one player and another, fails to do so. And it could have been stolen off him, it has been. Millfield now with a chance for a counter-attack.
Put himself and his team under an awful lot of pressure then. The Millfield kick chase was fantastic. 3 men there straight away.
But Leeds have the penalty. Can't gain much territory from there with that angle, can you? But it's still in Leeds' hands. The Leeds line-out, I must say today, Dave, has been impressive.
Absolutely, particularly in the second half. They've been a different team. All of a sudden, they've gone up a gear. I think they realised that this match was slipping away from them. Millfield scored those 3 tries in quick succession that could have knocked the stuffing out of Grammar School at Leeds, but a real show of their character, the way they've come back into this. Our clock says 5 minutes to go. There'll be another couple of minutes as well for the injury, but Grammar School at Leeds, if they can grab something in the next minute or so, it's going to be a real grandstand finish.
Maxson. Brownwall. They've really got the bit between their teeth. Bridge, but the referee's called it back.
Referee says crossing. I really want to see a replay of this one. It was Gorman who ran the other line. Here's the replay. Yeah, I think the fact that Gorman ran into Carling Parkinson and Hastings there, just stopping them from making the tackle. Millfield will be in no rush to take this kick.
Indeed they won't be. Hastings doesn't find touch.
Rare mistake there from him, showing that nerves really playing a factor in this final. Monster hit from Millfield.
Absolutely crunching. Really was crunching. Still in Leeds' hands though. Francis.
Harry Francis really shone in the latter stages of the semi-finals. Well, but it's been turned over.
And it's been turned over by Millfield, and a chance to put this game to bed. Kieran Griffiths. Coming out wide. Close. Barton goes left. Hastings. Ball's been knocked forward. And a knock-on advantage being played, but referee's called it back for that knock-on. Getting a bit exciting, Dave.
Absolutely all action stuff here. I wondered whether or not Millfield would try and forge themselves a sort of position where they could take a drop goal from there, but it's all gone a little bit frantic. They tried to put width on it to put themselves out of sight. Replay there, huge tackle on the fringes of the ruck. I wouldn't fancy being on the end of that one.
Well, Barker coming onto the field. A couple of changes being made for Leeds. Will Barker was one of them coming on. Dick Mitchell also on the field for Leeds as well. Maxson. Ball pops out. Max Kay. Tom Megson. A little bit loose. Dangerous. Picked up by Sam Ward. Megson also a little dart himself. Goes to Grant. He's going to have to act scrum half. He's going to be Will Shepherd. Ball's in the wrong place, and then now a chance for Hastings to put this game to bed, but the ball said it was knocked forward, and Leeds will have the put in.
Yeah, they will have the put in, but this is all...
And Millfield won't mind this at all.
Yeah, this is all playing into Millfield's hands. Grammar School at Leeds still need 2 scores as they make another couple of substitutions.
Robert Dunn, Alex Roney coming on the field as well.
So the clock ticking down, as I said, there'll be another couple of minutes because of the injury, but 2 scores looking like a big ask now for Grammar School at Leeds. There'll be so many what-ifs should the score remain like this. What if the referee had given that knock-on just before half-time?
More changes being made for Millfield School. A bit difficult for us because they don't have the numbers on their back. I think that might be Cameron Brown. We've been told he's wearing yellow boots. Next. With the put in, the clock running down. Leeds at the wrong end of the field. To try and affect a grandstand finish. Tom Megson. Ball is out, ball is loose. Still in Leeds possession now.
Millfield defending really, really narrow here as well. They've got 3 players watching the kick. Other than that, they've got no defender the other side of the Grammar School at Leeds posts.
Oh, exactly, that's the way to go, I think. And away they go. Dorman. He's the man who could maybe do the magic here. There's nobody at all on the left-hand side there. They're all exploiting for the kick. Oswald. Up the blind side, they go. Megson. Millfield team and the Millfield crowd are beginning to sense something here. They begin to shout in the crowd that Leeds will have the penalty, but time is not an enemy. We're over the 35-minute mark. So they're going to go with the tap and go. I think the referee may have indicated next time there's a stoppage, we may be blowing the whistle here. So Dave, time pass for your man of the match.
Well, there are lots of candidates on either side, really. I talked about Oswald, the number 1 for Grammar School at Leeds. He's had a fantastic game. Of course, the man we spoke about before the game, Tom Gorman. He's come into it as the match has progressed for Grammar School at Leeds. Bailey Ransom, the captain, has got 2 tries.
And they're away again here at Leeds. Gorman, this is. Look at him go. This is superb. What a run this is. What a run. Try it again. Try of the game. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Well, he's absolutely class, isn't he? We spoke about it in the first half, the fact that it had been quite quiet by his standards. Then all of a sudden he just seems to have taken the game absolutely by the horns. He took the short catch from the 22 dropout where he broke up the left-hand side, scored the try, and that there just sums him up. Even when the game's off, the game's over, the match has been lost, he just turns on that class and style, never gives up. He's got power, he's got pace, and that is an incredible finish.
I can be honest with you, I've been covering schools rugby now for the last 3 years. That is without doubt the best try I've seen since covering this. That was phenomenal.
Well,
absolutely phenomenal.
That's quite a testament to how good it was. Just seeing that, he's gone half the width of the pitch. He's beaten 5 defenders there to finish in the corner. Chance for Bailey Ransom to finish on a high. The Grammar School at Leeds players all embracing each other. They know it's over.
Alison Brownlaw. Right, it's the post. Not the way to finish. Millfield School are the champions. They are the champions. I've got to ask you, man of the match.
Well, the decision could change following that try. As I was saying, Bailey Ransom, he scored 2 tries himself. The Millfield pack worked really hard. They switched off defensively in the second half though, as Grammar School at Leeds turned the screw. But really the man of the match for me has to be Millfield's outside half, Adam Hastings. He worked really hard today, not just the stuff that you see with the ball in hand, he also tackled particularly well. He's all action. It was his vision that set up a couple of the tries. He scored one himself. What I really noticed his quality is when he was off as a in the blood bin, should I say, when he took a bash to the face. Everything seemed to lack structure for Millfield. Then he comes back on, and all of a sudden they're ahead in the game again. And from that moment, they never really were in a position where they could lose. So my final man of the match is Adam Hastings.
But it's been a superb game. A superb game. It's been the first ever Champions Trophy final. The Grammar School at Leeds. I know they're watching in the school hall there right now. You should welcome this team back with open arms when they arrive. They give them one hell of a fight. Millfield, but no doubt down in Somerset where this trophy's going, they'll be dancing on the ceiling.
Well, congratulations must go to Millfield, their second trophy of the season. This is a very, very talented group of players, but what a group of players the Grammar School at Leeds have. Superb character shown. Millfield just could have disappeared out of sight. They grabbed that try when they were on the back foot towards the end of the second half. The game was really won in the 5 minutes either side of half time where they just pulled away. Then all of a sudden Grammar School at Leeds came out of nowhere. Had there been another 5 minutes on the clock, had we been playing 40-minute halves instead of 35, who knows what would have happened. But two teams that can walk off this field feeling immensely proud of themselves.
A great advert for schools rugby, it really was. The first ever Champions Trophy final. Grammar School at Leeds 24, Millfield School 31. No doubt, keep your eye on some of these boys, because you can see them in an England jersey, or maybe a Scotland jersey sometime soon.
Absolutely, great show of respect there as well between the two teams. The tunnel's in nice and tight. Certainly the players' playing kits looking in a lot better condition than when we were up at the Grammar School in Leeds following the semi-finals.
Mud covered, weren't they?
They certainly were.
Let's chat about this. Let's chat about this match in general. Ed is out on the field right now. He's going to try and grab a couple of these players as the Millfield School go out to celebrate with their faithful. Let's chat about this game in general. Where was it won and lost in your mind?
Millfield had the start that they'd have dreamed of in a final. The first time they ventured into the opponent's 22, they managed to score a try, and ultimately it was one try that was the difference between these two teams. I'm sure when they look back on this, they'll see that they did get a little bit complacent, and you can't do that against a team like the Grammar School at Leeds. As I've mentioned a couple of times during this commentary, they've already had one fantastic comeback in this competition when they were 10-0 down against Bedford. All of a sudden they managed to win that match 13-10. They've got quality all over the park. I mean, when we see the replays, the two tries that man Tom Gorman scored were absolutely fantastic. I'm sure he'll get a hero's welcome when they get back to the school. This group of players,
Keys to the school, I think he deserves after that performance.
Absolutely, it's just a shame that there were a few incidents from the Grammar School at Leeds perspective that just meant they were always up against it. They defended their absolute hearts out for vast majorities of the first half. As for Millfield, well, they played the game in the right areas for so much time. Even when they couldn't get over the line, they kind of kept their discipline. In fact, they scored most of their tries from counter-attacking plays. Quality from Adam Hastings and of course Harry Close. Big breaks there. They scored tries in the forward, they scored tries in the backs. Let's not forget they had some big names missing from this starting 15 as well, due to the imports rule. So credit to them and the strength they've got in the squad as the referees are going there to claim their medals. But a brilliant match, and I'm really glad that this fantastic competition got the final that it deserved.
The referees are just going up the steps right now to collect their medals. And then the Grammar School Leeds boys will be going up to collect their runners-up medals. You can see them heading up the steps right now, headed by their captain Sam Ward. Well, I thought they've had an excellent game. Sam Ward as the Leeds captain. His line-out delivery was what was superb.
Absolutely fantastic, and the fact that he's the captain, they obviously trust him, because whenever something is happening that's a bit out of the ordinary in the line-out, then he seems to be the target for. He's a powerful runner, he's got good hands as well. He had a really strong game. He's another of these players who play in the front row, but they almost play more like back rowers traditionally do. They hit the line, they can carry the ball, and the Irish Exiles man really can be proud of himself after his finals performance.
Yes, the Grammar School at Leeds team just collecting their runners-up medals. It's been a good advertisement for this tournament. First time the RFU have introduced it, and I think long may continue if we're going to see rugby like this.
Oh, I certainly hope so. Absolute heartbreak for the Grammar School at Leeds boys there, having to walk past that trophy. This, of course, the inaugural occasion of this championship has taken place, but we've seen some unbelievable games. I mean, we've only broadcast 4 of them, but all 4 that we've been to have been absolute thrillers. We've had comebacks, we've had quality, we've had 17 match unbeaten runs come to an end, and ultimately we've had 32 teams who've really put on a fantastic display and a great advert for schools rugby. So I really hope that we see more of the same next season.
Indeed we shall. Millfield School up the top of the steps, getting ready to collect their winners' medals, and more importantly that Champions Trophy that's going to go in the school trophy cabinet back to Somerset.
And well deserved ultimately as well. We spoke about Grammar School at Leeds come back in round 2. Millfield, they had a bye in round 1, and for me their match against Tunbridge was arguably the match of the tournament. Tunbridge were 14-0 up, and Millfield managed to come back to win 16-14, which up until today was the most they've been tested. I mean, they could have been out in the second round, then all of a sudden they find themselves here at Allianz Park playing in a final against a team that they'd not played against before, that they knew very little about, which poses huge challenges to both teams, and they walk off this pitch as champions, about to receive their trophy.
Indeed they are, and it will be Bailey Ransom, the Millfield captain, who will be lifting that Champions Trophy to glory. An exceptional performance from Millfield, an exceptional performance from Grammar School at Leeds as well. I thought at times in the second half, I thought the comeback was on, and they can really put their heads held high toward the rest of the season. Especially with, we've got the Cup coming up in the new year as well. But Millfield are the ones who are celebrating right now. They're making sure they're right in the middle of the picture. Bailey Ransom collects the trophy. Millfield are the champions. They'll be dancing in Millfield School this evening, and they'll welcome them back as heroes, won't they, David?
Well, what a difference in the expression on Bailey Ransom's face there, when the look of just jubilation and relief compared to the look of abject concentration when he made his way out onto the field of play before this final. He'll be happy with his shift, of course, the Millfield captain, as they embrace each other there. Great scenes in front of their supporters, but 2 tries for the captain and another piece of silverware.
Yeah, so they're just getting their pictures from their friends and family in the crowd, and here are the second half highlights of a fascinating game, a fascinating tussle. Adam Hastings there was some brilliant vision at times.
Well, we said that Grammar School at Leeds needed to start better than they did in the first half, and it looked to all intents and purposes like they were going to do that. There was great territory, but then Adam Hastings, he chipped that ball over the top. Harry Close absolutely burned his way up the field, and then Henry Peck finished with the inside ball. This was Bailey Ransom's second try, and as just before that you said to me, do you think that Millfield are going to look to put Grammar School at Leeds to the sword? And when that second try for Ransom went over, it looked as though that could be a possibility. Everything was going the way of Millfield.
Well, sometimes you expect, when things like that happen and there's over 20-point leads with 20 minutes to go in play, the other team gets their heads down, they know they're on 9-0, but Leeds did the reverse.
Well, that
it was inspiration for them.
Absolutely, that could have happened. I mean, maybe because of the fact that they thought the game was gone, they just went for it. But Harry Francis there, he really does work hard in the latter stages of the game. It was a fantastic finish from him, great effort. This is the first of Tom Gorman's tries, great power. There was no way that Harry Close was going to stop him dotting it down in the corner. What Millfield did well then was manage to find some field position. Look at the determination on Gorman's face as he goes in at the corner for the first of his 2 tries. What Millfield managed to do then was find some field position, which was just what they needed to do. Just when the momentum was with Grammar School at Leeds, Millfield managed to stem the flow, and even though we had that superb last try by Tom Gorman that we're just seeing a replay of now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the 5th player that he beats on the outside.
Speed's phenomenal. Speed is phenomenal, isn't it?
No more than a consolation try. However, it did make the scoreline look a little bit more fair. I think that is a scoreline that pretty much sums up this match.
I'm just looking at the acceleration of Gorman there. That is just phenomenal, absolutely brilliant from the Leeds man. And let's get the thoughts of the Leeds coach, John McKenzie. He's down pitch side today. So the Millfield school are just getting the pictures that you'll see in rugby magazines across the land. I no doubt the celebrations will continue as the Champions Trophy winners here down in London, and they're ready down at pitch side. Ed is with John McKenzie, the Leeds coach.
Well, John, it was a fantastic effort from your side today, but it just...
I think what we'll take a lot of heart from is how we finished. Seeing the scenes with Tom going over for his 2 scores at the end there probably sums up the heart that we've got. We've had fantastic support from our school today, and huge thanks to them. The noise they've made has been superb from start to finish. So yeah, just really proud of the guys and how they've done.
Well, that try from Tom Gorman was really something special, and you had tremendous support. You gave us such a fantastic show, and at one point in that second half you'd starved Millfield of the ball for so long it seemed inevitable that you would come back into it.
Was that Tom's first try or his second try?
Both were pretty good.
Yeah, give it another 5 minutes, who knows, but Millfield were a quality outfit, particularly first half. With so little ball we struggled to get any foothold. Second half, a bit of possession, we were always going to be dangerous, and we just needed to have that ball in order to really show what we could do.
Well, John, you provided us with a tremendous spectacle, you and your team. You've done Yorkshire proud. Thank you so much for joining us here today. It's been fantastic to have you.
Good, thank you.
Yes, thoughts there of John McKenzie, the Leeds coach. Let's chat about Leeds then, Dave, very quickly. It was a valiant effort from them, wasn't it, in that second half? With 20 minutes to go, we were thinking, well, the writing's on the wall here, this is going to be a rout, and all of a sudden they nearly got it to a grandstand finish.
They certainly did, in a very honest interview there from John McKenzie. I mean, it's going to be so hard for these boys to take, particularly because this season they've just not been used to losing. They lost their first game a couple of weeks ago. They'd won 11 in a row before that, and even the game that they lost, they had 6 of the pack missing due to injuries and other commitments, county matches and exiles matches, etc. They did themselves proud today, but it was just a little bit too little too late.
The man of the match, Adam Hastings, is downstairs with Ed.
Well, Adam, how special was that for you today?
Words can't really describe. I've played in a few finals before, but I think that one just about tops it.
Obviously you got that early score, then they came back into it.
Yeah.
Were you ever worried?
I have to admit, a bit into the second half, we know how to make hard work of games, and I think, worried's not the word, but a bit anxious, a tiny bit. But we've got belief in the boys, and we've put ourselves in those positions before, so we know how to close out games quite well.
Obviously you've got your first early score, as we said. They came back into it, and then there were 2 more. Where did you find that extra gear?
I don't know, just all the practice we've been putting in on the training field, really. I mean, with Mike and Mr. Collins, the new coaches, obviously a couple of the Bath boys, Danny Grucock and Lee Mears, have helped out. So it's just been, in training we've just been working on those scenarios, and it paid off today.
And obviously you've been playing in a fantastic atmosphere here this afternoon. Not every game is like this, is it?
No, I have to admit the nerves are going at the start a bit, but after we settle down I think we're all right.
Well, a fantastic performance from you and your team. Adam, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, cheers, thank you.
David, Adam Hastings there, star for the future?
I think so. He said there that at parts of that game he was nervous, but there was no way you could tell he was nervous. In fact, it was his composure in the early stages for me that were the reason that his team spent a lot of that time in the first half on the front foot.
The Millfield coach, and no doubt a smiling Millfield coach, Mike Baxter is downstairs with Ed.
Mike, tell me what you've just said off camera.
I just have had about 5 heart attacks in the last 20 minutes watching that, but credit to Leeds, they were fantastic, put us under a lot of pressure, but we just held out just right to the end.
There were some hair-raising moments for you, particularly in that second half. You'd been starved of the ball for about 20 minutes, hadn't you? Yeah,
we just had an issue of when we got the ball, we just gave it straight back to them, and we've been working on accuracy and keeping the ball for a long time now, but they're a good team, they put us under a lot of pressure, so they deserved that ball at some points.
As a game plan, how do you feel you executed? You got the win, but is it exactly how you pictured it?
Not exactly. I don't think final rugby is exactly what we went out to do, but we got the win, and most of the time we did things that we wanted to do, so I'm quite happy with that.
Well, you must be very proud of your boys. A second trophy in just one term. Where do you go from here?
Well, we've got 2 big games, Saturday Monmouth and then Sedbergh away on Wednesday, so 6 days, 2 big away games, so we just make sure the boys recover well and just see what happens on Friday at training.
Well, we all know it'll be business as usual for you, but I think you're probably allowed to enjoy tonight. Thank you for such a tremendous spectacle here this afternoon.
Thank you very much, cheers.
So the thoughts there of Mike Baxter, the Millfield coach. Let's begin to wrap this glorious afternoon for rugby, not weather-wise, Dave, but glorious afternoon for rugby here at the Alliance Park. Your final thoughts overall?
Well, Mike Baxter said it there, didn't he? He said finals rugby doesn't always go the way you planned it to, but ultimately his team have managed to get over the line and they're crowned the inaugural Champions Trophy finals. It's so difficult when finals occur. You get to the full-time whistle and you just see the jubilation of the victors, and the fact that the grammar school at Leeds, that their heads were down and they've got those silver medals around their neck. At the moment, I'm sure they'll have lots of empty feelings, but they've got so much to be proud of moving forward. They've had a fantastic performance throughout the competition, and certainly in the latter part of that match they really did themselves proud. There were a couple of things that went Millfield's way, which ultimately was the reason that they scored more points and got over the line. They had a fantastic performance themselves. They showed great composure when they needed to, but Grammar School at Leeds hopefully can watch this match back and take a lot of positives from it, even though it wasn't them that lifted the trophy at the end of the match.
Dave Rogers, my thanks to you for your efforts this afternoon. Also thanks to Ed Tarleton on behalf of me, Johnny Bryan. Thank you very much for joining us. The Grammar School at Leeds were good in this Champions Trophy final, but Millfield were magic. From all of us here, thanks for joining us. Bye for now.